lawsuit, this is going to be the video for you. A couple house cleaning things real quick. If you live in Ironton or the tri-state area, okay, this is really, really cool. This is probably, like, I can't get the permagrin off my face. I'm so sorry, because what I'm about to tell you, if you live in Ironton or the tri-state area, okay, especially if you live in Ironton and you want a trifold, in Ironton is the Ironton auditor, Terry. And if you want a trifold and you can't get down to the printer, Terry is going around giving people the trifold. Terry, Ironton auditor Terry, he will go and give you a trifold. So you guys want to follow Ironton auditor on YouTube. That is your auditor. That's the guy who's going to film the cops and film the libraries and film the police stations. You know why? Because you have a right to film at all times in a public space, and you will film them. When you see a cop, what do you do? What do you do? When you see a cop, I want to use something that's actual real. When you see a cop, and Ironton auditor Terry is giving these away for free on printed paper. If you want to order Indestructible one, please get one off my website, DeletelawZ. If you want to download it and print it at home yourself, go to DeletelawZ, and then when you go to get the $15 one, and then when you go to checkout, put free trifold in, and it'll go right to your email. Be careful, it might go to your spam folder, and then you print this out and you keep it in your car. Okay? So if you want to get a hold of Ironton auditor, and he is in Ironton for people who are on a fixed income, can't get to a print machine, he will bring you a trifold. I mean, if you want to give him $1 or $2 for gas, that'd be swell, because Terry's not rich. But I asked him to take up the job, and he did it. So now, when you see a cop, what do? I'm filming you. I'm filming you. I'm using my First Amendment to film. That's what you say. That's what you do. At all times, you film him. When you pass a cop who's radaring on the side of the road, do you know what you do? You hold your phone up and show that you're filming him at all times. This is so important to me, because this, just so you know, you guys have never seen the things that we're doing, and the reason why we're able to do them is because of the knowledge that's written down and then the power of the camera phone. That's why we're able to do the things we're able to do. Okay, now let's get into it. I think we just get right into it. So this is a federal civil rights lawsuit that I'm filing against the Ironton Police Department, Pam Wagner, and every cop who arrested me, as well as Lawrence County Jail, because they forced me to give my social security number, which is against my constitutional rights. So if you want to learn how to file, so this is going to be part 1 of 3. Tomorrow night, I will teach you guys how to file an injunction. And then the next night, I'm going to teach you guys how to file a motion. And these things sound like they're complicated, but when you get into this, you're going to find out it's really not that complicated. Okay, so we've all seen this in court, right? So let me give you a statistic a friend of mine told me, a very good friend. He said to me, when the Bill of Rights and the Constitution was signed in, who signed the Bill of Rights, everybody? Who was that? Who was it that signed the Bill of Rights? So when you hear about the Bill of Rights, that is a bill. The Bill of Rights is a bill. So who was the president that signed the Bill of Rights? It was George Washington. George Washington signed the Bill of Rights, 1791. So George Washington signed the Bill of Rights that you and I have today, that the government recognized the God-given rights that man was born with, and George Washington is going to sign that into law. Okay, so now I'm going to give you guys the names of these things so that you understand them, so that when you see a court document, you're not so confused, because it's not complicated. So this top section right here, this top section is called the caption. And on the caption, you'll notice what mine says. Mine says, in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Ohio, Western Division. So this is at the top. This is the court that you put where you'll be filing your civil rights lawsuit. If you're in Ironton, you can just copy this one right here. And then over here, you'll see that this is the plaintiff. Now, I haven't listed all the plaintiffs because when I list it, it's going to be this long. But for this purpose, I just wanted to leave it simple for you guys. Obviously, Pam Wagner in her individual and official capacity. So Pam, my friend, Pam baby, I warned you, Pam, that when you get sued for a civil rights violation, you are held personally accountable. Your qualified immunity doesn't mean squat, babe. You are listed, Pam. I'm suing you. And then, and I don't want to jump ahead too close, but let me just tell you guys this. After I file this and we get a number on it, I then send this to the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. And then the Department of Justice decides if they're going to prosecute those cops for violations. And that would be a US 18, Section 241 and 242. That's a criminal statute. This is a civil statute, so it's going to be a 42. I'm going to get into every single step of this, okay? So now here's how this works. Here's the way it works. You put your court up here. If you're in Ironton, it's going to be the Southern District. And then you list the plaintiff who you're going against. This is going to be Pam Wagner and the city of Ironton. I'm the plaintiff, Jose Maria DeCastro. I'm the plaintiff, and I'm suing versus, see that little versus symbol right there? Pam Wagner and her individual, the city of Ironton, a municipality within the county of Lawrence, Ohio. Now, every time you see this, you don't have to be intimidated by it. It's very simple. On this side is the party. You see that? Pretty simple, right? And then on this other side is the filing. And these are going to be my exhibits. So now when you look at this, you no longer have to be intimidated if this is court papers for you. So when Washington signed the Bill of Rights, the people who were going to court in the United States of America was 1 in 1,000. And then at the turn of the century, it was 1 in 100. And today right now, every single person over the age of 21, it's 1 out of every 1 person has to deal with something that has to do with court or police. Now, if these dirty pigs, if they violate your rights, here's how you sue them, okay? So now you wanna find the district court that's close to you. So if you're in California, you'll look up the district court. If you're in Louisiana, you'll look up the district court. And that's what goes right here, so easy. Then you are the plaintiff, John Doe, in this case, me. And then you list all of the plaintiffs. And just so you know, in this one also is the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department. Because when you forced me to give my social security number, that was a violation of my Fourth Amendment right. Okay, now let's get into the lawsuit. So now right here, now I'm gonna write out the plaintiff's original complaint. Do you see that? And I'm gonna read this to you. But what this is this is a summary, a small summary, a couple paragraphs to kind of encapsulate the whole story so that the judge, who's going to have his clerks do most of the work, he's going to read the first few paragraphs before he really finds out if I need to dig into this, and he'll dig into it. But at first, he or she will just read your summary. And that right here I'm gonna step to the side right here so you guys can look at the paperwork instead of look at me, and then I'm going to read it to you. And this says, Plaintiff Jose Maria DeCastro in pro per, in the above titled cause, hereby filed this as an original complaint for civil rights violations made under U.S. Code 42-1983. Now, 42 is a civil code, US 18 is a criminal code. So when I send this to the Department of Justice, they will read it or wait for the outcome of this case, and then the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. will decide if there's going to be criminal charges. And if you're a cop and you get charged with 1983 and you get found guilty, you go to federal prison for 2 years. Enjoy that. Enjoy that, okay? So now right here, it's going to say, deprivation of certain of his guaranteed and protected rights related to the First and 14th Amendment. Do you see it? You see that? And that's why I said earlier, who signed the Bill of Rights? George Washington. So that means the Bill of Rights that I'm suing for, George Washington had a hand in making sure that the government recognized my God-given rights. So then it says introduction and opening statement. So here's the plaintiff's original complaint. You see how short this is? It's just one paragraph. And what it lists is my name, and I'm filing a complaint under this code, deprivation of rights under the color of law, and the amendments, constitutional rights that I was violated. Do you see how easy that is? Do you see how easy it is? It's not complicated at all. You can do it yourself, because I'll put this form available for download on my website so that you guys can just copy and put your name and stuff in here. And then when you talk to other people, here's what happened to me, and you show the video because you took video, and then I explain to you, oh man, that's a Fifth Amendment violation. That's a Sixth Amendment violation. That's a 14th Amendment violation. That's a First Amendment violation. And then in your paragraph right here to explain to the judge what this is going on, he or she is gonna read this and go, okay, so now I know what this is about. And then down here, now I'm gonna get into the introduction and the opening statement. Do you see that? You see that? And so, hey, Real News Network, what's going on? How you guys doing? What's going on? Love Real News Network, one of my favorite channels. I'm really honored you guys are here. I love you guys. So now, it says here, this is an action brought by Plaintiff DeCastro against certain defendants, including the City of Ironton Police Chief, Pam Wagner. What did I say to you, Pam, when you and I first met? It's on video, right? I said to you, I'm here to sue you. Did you think you were going to violate my rights and get away with it? And the City of Ironton. Acting, because when Pam arrested me wrongfully, she was acting as the agent of Ironton in the state and municipality by which she was employed. And also all those other cops too, they'll be listed. I'll get all your body cams. And then we're going to see if we have transparency in America, if those dirty pigs are going to release the body cam footage, because now I think it's a matter of national interest to see if we can get transparency and justice in America. I think everybody's watching. So I'm sorry about that. So then it says, the injuries suffered by this plaintiff occurred at a peaceful protest taking place in the City Hall of Ironton at this place on this address, on this time. Plaintiff DeCastro, known as a journalist, video vlogger, and reporter on YouTube and other media outlets, was inside the City Hall video recording. Within 4 minutes of the City Hall closing, an absent notice, plaintiff was personally seized and handcuffed. His recording device was seized, and he was placed under arrest. Approximately 2 hours, DeCastro, after posting bond for alleged criminal violations, was released and his property returned to him, all but his cell phone recording device, which he uses for the occupation and personal recording. Despite numerous requests for the return of property, the defendants have failed to return this, as they want to stop him from recording the public officials and conducting interviews. The City of Ironton has failed to ensure that its employees, the chief of police, and other officers are properly trained and or supervised, as they acted unfettered in violation of constitutional and clearly established law. Because the plaintiff clearly established rights relating to the First, Fourth, and 14th Amendments of the Constitution were egregiously violated by the defendants. You see, and this is where Lackluster will make a video and he'll say, soon to be defendant. You know, Lackluster, it was really hard for me not to use that line that you used, because it's so perfect when I watch these cops violate people's rights, and no one ever taught them how to file a civil rights lawsuit. And by the way, once you get into court, the judge has to help you, the court has to help you. You just have to make sure you run it by people who know what they're doing so that they don't, let's get into that, but. So, now this next part is called jurisdiction and venue. So you guys you see that worked? Those first 2 pages right there, they lay out everything. They lay out what I'm suing for, specifically talking about my phone. And by the way, we're gonna get the phone back this week according to this. And if they don't, then we don't have any rights. So then this is gonna be, so the first 2 pages just lay it out. Here's the constitutional violations, and here's the story. You see how fast it laid out? Real quick, just a summary, just real fast in those first couple of pages. And I will post this online. I'll post this all online for you to copy. And then right here, you're gonna go into jurisdiction and venue. It's just a paragraph, and it says, cause of action of this complaint arises under 42 U.S. Code 1983, civil action for deprivation of rights. The jurisdiction of this court is founded on federal question jurisdictions 28 U.S. Code 1331, and this court also has original jurisdiction pursuant to 28 United States Code 1343. Venue is proper because all the events rising to plaintiff's causes of action occurred within the district as provided in 28 U.S. Code 1391b2. So that's probably where you're going to need some help when you talk to a constitutional law scholar who's going to explain to you, what U.S. code it goes under and what the statute is that you want to list in your civil rights violation complaint. So you're gonna want to talk to other people about that. You can also just go, wild, crazy on research on YouTube, and someone will walk you through it, just like someone's going to find this and go, oh, someone walked me right through the whole thing. Now it's going to list the parties. So you go jurisdiction here and then parties here. Plaintiff Jose Maria DeCastro, herein DeCastro, at all times relevant herein, suffered injury while on the district in the limits in the city of Ironton, Ohio. Defendants, plaintiff is informed and believes that defendant Pam Wagner, herein Wagner, was the city of Ironton chief of police and sworn peace officer employed by defendant city of Ironton, and at all times relevant to this complaint was acting as an employed, compensated, enriched, and rewarded employee for the city of Ironton. Wagner is being sued in her, sorry about that typo, in her individual and official capacities. Do you see how that works? So now the reason why it's just Pam right now, because I don't want you guys to get confused. This is we're just focusing right now, because when I got to Ironton, I told Pam I'm here to sue you. And you would violate my rights because you are a thug, and you are. And you violated my civil rights, against my rights. And it's happening all over the country. That's why I'm literally taking my time to teach you this today. Tomorrow we do injunction, the next day we do motion, so you know how. Okay. Plaintiff has informed and believes that defendant city of Ironton, herein Ironton, is an incorporated political subdivision within Lawrence County in the state of Ohio and can be sued as such person specific to this lawsuit. Okay, so now here comes the general facts and allegations. This is the most important part, besides, of course, your cause of action, which is your causes of action and your exhibits. So fortunately for us, the exhibit is plain as day. It's the video. You can just, and then their body cam footage that's going to show that they didn't give me any kind of ample time, any kind of due process of law, and then violated my First Amendment right to be pressed, and then turning my camera off. Pam, I told you let me turn my camera off. When you did it, you violated my right to be pressed, because I would have simply clicked the button and let it play out until it did. But you turned it off. I wasn't going to turn my camera off, Pam. I was going to click the screen so you could still hear, but you wouldn't be able to see. But when you turned my camera off, Pam, when you turned it off, and I said, give me my phone, and you didn't, you're being sued. And I hope the Justice Department puts you in prison. It's where you belong. So now, general factual allegations. This is really important. You really have got to get these down. So this right here is going to say, let me make sure I can see it on the screen here. Okay, cool. Plaintiff is a video. Oh, you know what I can do? Let me see if I can do it like this. Look at that. Then I can read it right through the screen, I think. Let me see. I think it's better the other way. Sorry, guys. Don't you think it's better the other way? Yeah. Okay. Plaintiff is a videographer, vlogger, and civil rights activist who's been video recording, publishing his recordings, edited and unedited on media forums such as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and since approximately June 20th of 2021. I've only been on the scene for 6 months. So the financial benefits of DeCastro posting have been an essential economic support for him since that time. On Tuesday, March 29th, 2022, at approximately 4 p.m., DeCastro and several other local citizens were in Ironton City Hall peacefully protesting. At approximately 5 p.m., a City of Ironton employee announced that the building was closed and locked. Approximately 5:02, Wagner yelled to DeCastro to immediately cease and desist his disorderly conduct, and DeCastro was then immediately arrested by the City of Ironton police officers. Derek was taken into the booking area where several criminal charges were brought against him. DeCastro was patted down, his person searched, and personal property, including his wallet and key and other items, including his iPhone 12 Max Pro. After posting bond approximately 2 hours later, DeCastro was released. At the time of his release, his personal property seized off his person at that time of his arrest in booking was returned to him with the exception of his iPhone Max 12 Pro. DeCastro, who is not a resident of Ironton or the state of Ohio, personally visited or called the Ironton Police Department and demanded the release of his private property to him on 3/29, 3/30, 3/31, and 4/1. Sorry, it's a typo. And they failed to return Mr. DeCastro's cell phone. On 4/5, this plaintiff prepared and had delivered to the Ironton Police Department a formal demand for return of property. Now, this is very important. And let me grab that sheet for you real quick. If you guys didn't see my live earlier, I showed you the demand for the return of property. Okay, and what this says is, Chief Wagner, this letter formally demands the immediate return of my property. On this date, you took it. Everything I've just said already is listed right here, but in a one-pager. And then on the back, of course, is my signature. And then I sent a letter of certification to Ironton Auditor Terry Knipp. And Terry Knipp then delivered this letter of a demand for return of property to the Ironton Police Department. If you are an auditor and your property has been taken, immediately draft this letter. And real quick, I'm going to scan it by the screen so that everybody can see it. Now, this is two letters back, so there's a couple typos and stuff. I don't care. You know what it means. And so just copy this letter. If you're an auditor or the police have your products right now, if anybody here has items that were taken by the police, then you need to write this letter and serve them with a letter of certification, and I'll show you that in a second. Because this was the step that had to happen before I can sue them in federal court. So I'm just gonna go slow so that you can freeze frame this if you want to, and then you can copy it. There's the first part. And then here's the second part. Oh, this is the second cert of delivery. Sorry, I grabbed it. Okay, so this is the second page. So if you're watching this later, you can freeze frame and just realize I started to show you the second page of the cert, but this is the second page of the demand for return of property. And then what I did after that is I then sent a letter of certified delivery to the Ironton auditor who's giving away free trifolds that he's printing out and delivering to people. So hit him up, Ironton Auditor on YouTube, Ironton Auditor at Gmail. He has free trifolds for you guys. Okay, and then what I did is, then Terry put his name in here, and then he delivered this to the Ironton Police Department tomorrow. If I was you guys, I would diminish damages. I would give Terry my phone tomorrow if I were you, because everybody's gonna see that I showed this publicly, and you don't have a right to take my phone because it's not contraband, and you know that. So, or you know what? You probably don't know that because you're dumb. So now right here, this is this letter of certification that I sent to Terry that he will fill out and sign and then send back to me. You can literally just copy this. You can just copy it. And then you can have the same certification letter. Do you see that? I'm just going slow, you guys, so that you guys can freeze frame it if you want to, so you can read the words, and then you can file your federal civil rights lawsuit. But first, you have to do a demand for property. And that's how you do that. You have somebody else serve it. Doesn't matter who at the police station takes it, and you tell them there's going to be a federal civil rights lawsuit tomorrow if you don't get the phone back. But there is already, because they already caused me damage. So we were right here. On 4/5, that's today. Remember, I told you, I just showed you the certification letter. Terry Nip, who's giving away free trifolds, he brought it to the Ironton Police Department, a formal demand for return of property. So we're following every procedure of the law. This is called due process. And then right here, as of this date, because he's been denied the return of his 12 Pro Max and has been precluded from being able to assess certain of his necessary personal and certain business information, videos, photos, letters, emails, text messages, and other items, DeCastro has thereby additionally been precluded from being able to access time-sensitive information, which requires to prepare and publish his videos necessary and relevant to his occupation. Because I'm a journalist. That's what I do. You took away my right to prosperity. I'm American. So then right down here, it says, March 29th, 2022, Mr. DeCastro was brought to the Lawrence County Jail. During the booking process, the major in charge told Mr. DeCastro that he had to get his Social Security number. When Mr. DeCastro objected, the major, the top-ranking jailer, told Mr. DeCastro that he would be listed as John Doe and would be incarcerated until the FBI came back with his fingerprints. Mr. DeCastro again objected, saying it's wrong to take his Social Security number. The major came back again, this time threatened with a felony charge of obstruction of justice if he did not get his Social Security number. Mr. DeCastro gave his Social Security number. You've caused me damages. I now have to worry for the rest of my life that some dirty pig will leak my Social Security number, cause identity theft for me, cause me fraud. It will cause me years of financial, of mental PTSD and fear that you would hijack my identity, because it takes one dirty pig to ruin you. And they can, as we all know, and we've all seen it, okay? So it's just not right. And so for that reason, here we go. Now you guys are going to get to the good stuff. Oh, shoot, I'm so sorry. I kicked the tripod. So then it says, causes of action. Okay, now you're going to have multiple causes of action. And I'm going to read them to you one at a time so you guys understand them. Plaintiff, repeat. Okay, so up here it says causes of action, 42 U.S. Code 1983. This is the 14th Amendment violation, my right to due process. So like I said, you get due process of law. You have to be processed in the proper way. Plaintiff repeats and realleges the allegations contained in paragraph 1 through 17 above and incorporate the same as it is set forth in full. All defendants knew or should have known that it is unlawful and constitutionally violative to withhold a citizen's personal property when not contraband, without due process of law. So now, contraband is what you would use in the process of a crime. Contraband is a gun used in a shooting, or that's the contraband is the item that's used for the crime. So in this case, they took my phone, but what is my phone used? For journalistic purposes. Do you see? Do you follow? It's for journalistic purposes. So they stripped me of my 14th Amendment right to due process by taking my property that's used for life, liberty, and prosperity. That's why, listen here, that I make money by being a journalist. I'm showing the court that they caused me damages, which they did. There were so many people who spent the day with me over in the AT&T over there. I think it was in South Point. We spent the whole day there. I was there for 8 hours, 9 hours, because they had internet and I had to use my computer. But they caused me so much strife, so much stress. And this is important. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to run over this. I should run over this page slow for you guys, but so then, as direct proximity consequences of the acts of these defendants, DeCastro has suffered and continues to suffer injury therefrom and is entitled to recover damages accordingly. Cause Cause 2, this is U.S. Code 42, 1983, my First Amendment right to be pressed. I kind of just explained this one, so I'll just read it real quick. The plaintiff repeats reallegations of paragraph 1 through 20 and incorporates the same and set forth. In order to impede, stop, or otherwise, or deter DeCastro from filming local public officials conducting and recording interviews and other investigatory filming, the defendants have kept his main recording device from him. Constitutionally protected and clearly established by law as such, these defendants engaged in a seizure of his recording device and failed to return it. People recording in public, absent probable cause, seize their recording devices and charge numerous with bogus crimes, thereby causing a fear, odium, and great inconvenience to DeCastro, which is all true. As a direct proximity consequence of the acts, these defendants, DeCastro has suffered and continues to suffer a chilling of his First Amendment right and inquire therefrom and is entitled to recover damages accordingly. And you know what damages are, right? Ironton City Council, you know what they are? When you don't get rid of bad cops, instead of the money going to all those rehab clinics that you're paying, all those judges and prosecutors, the money's going to go to me. You're going to have to pay me. And you're going to lose. It's not even going to be close. It won't even be close. And if you don't, well, you have to. It's the law. There's law and order, and you have to follow law and order. I'm for law and order. Okay. So then this is going to be, there was a typo here. Listen, this is not a final document. I'm just showing you guys how to do it so that you're not intimidated and you can just do this yourself. Do not let the state push you around. Don't let local cops who are dumb hillbillies and don't know anything. They don't know the law. They're dumb. They're dumb. Pam, here's how dumb you are, Pam. This, by the way, this next cause, this really shows how dumb Pam is. The way she went, Jose DeCastro, cease and desist, right? You're dumb. And here's the reason why. U.S. Code 42, United States Code, Section 1983, the Monell claim against the defendant, City of Ironton. Failure to properly train and supervise. This is all about you, Pam, and the cops who don't know what they're doing. This is all about you guys who don't understand how the law works. Plaintiff repeats and reallegations, paragraph 1 through 26 of the above incorporation is set forth. Defendant Ironton, through its supervisor's office, employees, training, promulgated and making the unconstitutional acts as outlined in the foregoing causes of action. Defendant Ironton knew or should have known that their training and supervision of their chief of police and their officers must include clear knowledge of the constitutional nuances of consensual encounters, investigatory stops, and arrests. Further, they failed to properly train and supervise their employees to refrain from making unconstitutional stops in order to permit scenarios whereby the employees make unconstitutional searches and seizures, bogus arrests, and bring false charges, and malicious prosecutions as they did here. As a direct proximate consequence of the acts of the defendants, DeCastro has suffered and continues to suffer injury thereof and is entitled to recover damages accordingly. Now, here is this next part. This next part's all they care about. This next part. And you can really see it in the city of Ironton. This next part's all they care about. They don't care about you. It's about the money. Do you know how many people I've talked to who are going to rehab until almost the end and then they fail? The drug test fails. We don't know how, but you tested dirty. And they're like, I didn't test dirty. I'm like, yes, you did. And he's like, I didn't test dirty. And then they send them to jail with another charge. And then when they get out of jail, they go back to rehab because more money's going to Katzenberg, who has 4 different rehabs. Did you know that? I'll post it tonight. Allegedly, from the sources I have, there are 4 of Katzenberg, Andrea Kratzenberg. Her name's Andrea Kratzenberg. She's a prosecutor there. They're invested in 4 rehabs in her daddy's name. And daddy, and then the other guy, Mike Finley, Kristen Finley's father, who's a judge, he's the other big investor in the rehabs. And Mr. Finley, Mr. Mike Finley, listen to me. Let me just warn the people of Ironton. If you get sent to a rehab, be very, very mindful. The things I'm hearing about Mr. Finley are nothing short of shocking. Shocking. Let me tell you something. Mr. Finley, I swear to God, if I can prove these things against you that I'm hearing, I swear to God, I'll go to your trial. Mike Finley, running for county commissioner. The things you know what I'm doing? I'm releasing the tapes. I'm changing their names. I'm blotting out their names. Mr. Finley, I'm releasing the tapes I'm hearing about you. You are incredible, sir. When you guys hear these tapes about Mike Finley, I'm going to post them because I'm not going to say it myself. I'm going to let you hear from the people who know what Mike Finley or are alleging that Mike Finley is doing there. Let me get back to the cause of action. You, Finley. Everybody keep an eye on Mike Finley. Watch him close. You film Mike Finley. You watch Mike Finley. Mike Finley. Kristen Finley, the judge's dad. Everybody film that man. Everybody watch him. No matter where Mike Finley goes, watch him like he is a tiger. Like you are camping and that's the bear. Watch Mike Finley running for county commissioner. I hope you lose. I hope you lose and you lose. Oh, I'm so pissed off. Okay, sorry. Oh, God. Wait till you guys hear what I heard when you hear the tapes. Which, Mr. Finley, I've sent off to other journalists. In case. Because the things you do to people. Prayer for relief. The prayer for relief, we're going to talk about the only thing they care about, which is the money. This is all they care about, is the money. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about impounding your car and stealing it. Whereof plaintiff prays that the honorable court find as the following: that all defendants violated Mr. DeCastro's First, Fourth, and 14th Amendment right when they failed to return DeCastro's camera while he was video recording and peacefully protesting. That defendant of Ironton allowed these employees to act in violation of the Constitution as described without consequences and with deliberate indifference as a standard practice. So if it's a standard of practice, then the damages, the prayer for relief is then exemplary, meaning that we're going to make example out of them. They're going to have to pay heavy. The prayer for relief is just the money. And so when it says here it's a standard of practice, that means that that's what they normally do to people, and so we're going to get exemplary damages. Ironton holds liability as this defendant has failed to ensure proper training and supervision of its police force regarding recording activities by citizens in public places. Citizens' rights to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures and unlawful arrests. That all defendants by their conduct and actions intend to cause an interference of plaintiff's First Amendment rights to record by failing to return his iPhone 12. Plaintiff prays for relief against defendants jointly and severely as follows: enter a judgment against each and every defendant individually named and find them jointly and severely liable. Sorry about that. Good job. I don't have this in slow mode. I wish I had it in slow mode. Boom. So that could be, you guys, what that could be is a super bot that somebody will pay for, and it's fairly expensive. It's a few $100 to get a super bot like that. No. I think it's a super bot. They buy them. They're expensive. Okay, so let me finish reading this. That's a super bot. So you won't be able to stop him. It's just a super bot. I've dealt with this before. I actually have to end the live and start again because they paid for that. By the way, that's by cops. That's by cops right there. Police have done that. Once again, the police are trying to, what you're seeing right here, just so you guys know, the one who's putting God hates gay people, they're Barry. That's not a person. That's a super bot that is paid for. Just don't pay attention to the comments for a second. Just listen to what I'm saying to you. That is a government funded. We can't say it's government funded. That's what the police use as retaliation to again stop the press. So what I'll do is I will go like this. just you just can't look at it. So let me just get through this real quick, and then we'll just finish this one up. Yep, of course, of course. Just so you know, any time that we make traction against these dirty rat pig cops, what they do is they'll try to, and just so you guys know, and I just want to say this out loud now, I'm not suicidal and I don't have any kitty porn on my computer. So if all of a sudden I kill myself or there's kitty porn on my computer, then you guys know how that showed up, because, and I didn't kill myself. This is what they're doing. They're paying to make sure the message can't get out. Find that plaintiff is, sorry, you're going to see a little kick here. Find that plaintiff is prevailing party in this case and award attorney fees and costs according to federal law, as noted, all defendants. Award punitive damages against all named defendants jointly and severely in their respective individual capacities in the amount of $50,000. Award exemplary damages against all named defendants jointly and in the amount of $1 million. So as prevent any similar type of deprivation of rights in the future against any other citizens similarly situated. And grant such other future reliefs as it appears reasonable and just to which plaintiff shows himself entitled. The declaratory relief requested in this action is sought against each defendant and each off employee and agent, and against these persons acting in an active concert or participating with the defendant or any defendant, supervision, direction, or control. Demand for trial by jury requested. Jose Maria DeCastro, declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge. And now, what I'll do next is I'll sign it, of course, and then I will attach exhibits on here. So the exhibits here, and now the exhibits, of course, will be video and timestamps. And so what you guys are seeing now, and I'll put these documents on my website so you can download them yourself. What you're seeing is transparency meeting the law. And just so you know, it doesn't really have anything to do with me, what's happening. Because the millennials and the Gen Zers are going to mimic exactly what I'm doing. They're going to see these documents. They're going to take them. They're going to go on the internet and make sure they learn which U.S. code it is and which different statute section of U.S. code it is. And I strongly recommend that people mimic exactly what I've done with your own style. Don't curse. Don't scream. Follow the law. Learn the case law. And so this is part one of filing the civil rights lawsuit against them. Now, there's some things that aren't in here because this one's basically about my phone. But when I get to the real lawsuit up against Lawrence County for taking my show, I mean, this is it. This is it. This is it. So do I have any questions or anything? I mean, I want to answer any questions that I can. If anybody else wants to ask anything. And I can't believe Real News Network come by. Oh my God, I'm so honored. Thank you so much for coming by. I love Real News Network. Really love that channel. Really love that channel. I saw it, by the way. I saw it. By the way, if you want me to get into it, I can. I just didn't want to get into it on this one. So yeah, News Now Houston. Oh, so now they're going to spam by saying that they love me. But as you know, that is likely the police. The spammer is likely cops, because I was educated by Accountability for All. And hey, you guys, can you guys ask Disorderly Product News when we're starting our joint channel? I keep on waiting for Disorderly Product News to stop to create our joint channel, and I'm waiting. Disorderly, where's Disorderly Product News with this next channel? Because we're supposed to have another channel coming out, but I'm waiting on DPN. Like DPN, dude, I can't. And then just so you know, so we're also going to be filing paperwork. Oof, racist. Now they're saying racist things. Just horrible. I mean, that's who the cops are. That's who police are. News Now Ninja in the house, everybody. News Now Ninja is amazing. What's Avaware? What's going on? What's Avaware? How you doing, bud? Oof, gross, gross. Don't try to pay no mind to the troll. Just gross. Just disgusting. And it's a super bot. So the only way to get rid of him is to end the live. So he just, spams the channel. But what you guys can do is you can go back and you can pause that and you can see how to file your own 1983 and then which US code it's going to be. You guys can just do that completely on your own. And don't be intimidated by the court because I just walked you through the whole thing. It's so easy. And then the best thing is to make sure that I put... I can't. So anyway, listen, thanks you guys. I'm going to end this live. I might come back on in a little while, but I'm going to end this live for now. And let's, listen, you know what that is? Do me a favor, you guys. Don't look at the chat for 1 second. Let me just talk to you. Let me talk to you. Really, let's talk for real, okay? Don't look at the chat. Just pretend the chat's not there and just look at me in the eyes and let me say something to you that's super important. As we move forward into the future, the amount of hatred we're going to get is going to be unbelievable. It's going to be unreal. When we change a system and people lose their jobs and their occupations are wiped out because we don't need that role anymore. You're talking about people's livelihoods. You're going to get the nastiest responses. Don't pay attention. Don't even look at it. Don't even look at it. Don't write me letters telling me about someone. I don't care. Someone made a video. I don't care. You notice I put my full name out there, everything about me, because I'm running for governor, baby, okay? And I give you my word as a human being, I'm going to change this bullshit system. I swear to God, the first state in America to abolish prisons and create another system of justice will be in the great state of Ohio. Because I'm moving to Ohio. I don't give a shit if you believe me or not. I'm getting a couple things done, and I'm moving right there. Those are my people. Those are my people, baby. Yeah, what's going on, Ohio? Ironton, baby. We're Ironton all the way. Hell yeah. I'm going to fit in there like a hand in a glove. Okay? All right? So don't even pay attention. And for the love of God, 2 things. Don't send me the haterade. I'm not going to drink it. And then don't send me to be careful or watch my back. I don't give a flying fuck. I don't care. I'm going to change the system. I'm just like you. We're the same. I'm going to lead us, and I'm going to change the system. I swear to God, God above, I swear to you, I don't stop. I don't rest. If you guys don't notice, I don't sleep very much. I really don't, because I'm on a motherfucking mission. And then you know what I'm going to do with all the money we get back in Ironton? I'm going to create a teeth program. I'm going to create a teeth program in Ironton. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, listen, I'm going to get the flock out of here, you guys. Thank you so much for coming to the live. Tomorrow night, I'm going to teach the injunction, and then the next night, I'm going to teach the motion. And then the next night, I'm going to teach you how to respond for a dismissal motion that they'll file against you. Immediately, the first thing they'll do. So I'm going to show you guys how to overcome that, okay? And we're just going to keep going. And what do we know? What do we know? We don't stop. So all Ohioans, reach out to other Ohioans in small towns and tell them we're coming. Go reach. You know how you guys tell me, oh, it's just as bad over here. It's just as bad over here. Go to the other counties in Ohio and tell them that we're coming for our rights. Tell them that we're coming. And it reminds me of the Tombstone line. And hell's coming with me. And hell's coming with me. Because we don't stop. We don't stop. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. God bless you. God bless the United States. And God bless the great state of Ohio, my new home. See you guys soon. Okay, later.